Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the lessons to Lighten Up with Bo, where we're just hopefully helping you live a little bit more free. That doesn't mean just live in a fairy tale land of make believe. It means to look in ways that hopefully aren't uncomfortable. Maybe they bring you a little joy because you're like, oh my God, lightning bolt. Yeah. And you will know the truth and it will set you free because it'll just set you free from the insanity. You're like, oh my God. Because you won't be able to cling to the illusions of your brain and your thoughts and all the things that you really were sure, no, you don't understand, man. This really is my issue. It really is a problem. And to set you free from that part of your mind that's just never ending. To help you remember who you are. To help you remember that you're it. You're the whole shebang. Did you see the movie The Matrix? That's right. You're Neo. Yeah, I just did a Matrix reference. You are Neo. Period. Everyone's actually Neo. You're it. Yep, the world's depending on you, and if that terrifies you, well, sorry about that. Anyway, whether you're doing these lessons from A Course in Miracles or not, whatever brought you here today, I hope it brings you a little bit more ease and peace. Maybe it'll help you reflect a little bit. Maybe it'll bring some lightness, a little more truth into your mind. The part of the mind that really thinks that you want the answer, but the ego thinks it tells you it wants the answer, but it doesn't really want the answer. Because it knows for you to get the answer, you would be free. And to be identified as a body that can die and be sick, and this is not a free mind. This is a terrified, fearful mind. That's the ego. The ego mind is a fear system. So it tells you things like, oh yeah, we totally want the answer, but it doesn't. Because if you were free, you wouldn't need this system of fear. So anyways, I just hope that you feel a little bit lighter, and thanks for joining me today. And if you're doing the lessons with me, keep doing them. If you miss a day, that's okay. That's all right. It's okay. This isn't about perfection. Thanks for being willing to remember who you are with me. So we're in the review phase. We're reviewing 5 previous lessons. We're taking the short essence where they've been distilled down by Jeshua into the perfect essence of the lesson. And we meditate on each one of these 5 review lessons once throughout the day for 2 to 3 minutes. So you have a total of 10 to 12 minutes of meditation scattered throughout the day. Woo! We're on lesson 57 and we're starting with the review of lesson 31. I am not the victim of the world I see. Gosh, if everybody could just say this and be willing to mean it. I am not the victim of President Trump or Joe Biden or Iran, or Ukraine, or Russia, or India, or a tsunami, or my loud neighbors, or the person driving slow. I am not the victim of the world I see. How can I be the victim of a world which can be completely undone if I so choose? How can it be undone if I so choose? It's coming. The answer's coming. How can I be the victim of the world which can be completely undone if I so choose? My chains are loosened. You might be wondering, do I have a throat lozenge in my mouth? Yes, I do. That could be annoying. I don't know. I'm loosening. Yeah. Maybe we should take it out. Should we? Let's take it out. There we go. Little throat lozenge. All right. How can I be a victim of the world which can be completely undone if I so choose? My chains are loosened. I can drop them off merely by deciding and desiring to do so. The prison door is open. I can leave it simply by walking out. Nothing holds me in this world. Only my wish to stay keeps me a prisoner. I would give up insane wishes and walk into the sunlight at last. I am not the victim of the world I see. We can walk out of the dream of separation and duality and return to a limitless reality beyond the current understanding if we choose. The prison door is open. But most of us choose to stay in the prison. By now, probably everyone on the planet has heard the metaphor, or I think it's actually a reality for instance, the elephants that have been in captivity for so long that they've had a chain around their leg to where they couldn't move beyond a certain radius. And then when it's been around their foot so long, once they take the chain off, they won't walk past that certain radius, even though the chain is off. Because we are too addicted, we're too comfortable, we're too in the illusion of being contained. And that becomes the reality. But do you know how we all move beyond that radius that we all have in our own way? One of us chooses to move, to step out the door. We don't need the world to change. We don't need to wish that somebody will walk into their freedom. You walk into your freedom. You be the demonstration of light. You remember that you're the Christ, that I'm the Christ. We walk in that freedom, and that gives others the permission. They see it. This is why you do the lessons. So if anybody's starting to do A Course in Miracles and you're like, I need to get all my family to do this because nope, there's no them. There's no them. It's only your mind, the one mind. You do your part in the one mind through action, demonstration. They'll follow suit or they won't. But you don't do it for them. Now we're going to review lesson 32. I have invented the world I see. I have invented the world I see. So I'm not a victim of the world I see because I have invented the world I see. I made up the prison in which I see myself. If you do not take full accountability for the world that you find yourself in, you can never be free. Never. I made up the prison in which I see myself. All I need do is recognize this, and I am free. I have deluded myself into believing it is possible to imprison the child of God. I have deluded myself into believing that it's even possible that I imprison the child, the perfect creation, the soul, the mind of God's creation. I was bitterly mistaken in this belief, which I no longer want. The child of God must be forever free. It is as we are as God created us, and not what I would make of us. So it's basically, I'm changing the words again because people, I find, get triggered by he and they and she and shim. She and shim. Shim. That's he and she. Shim. I just created a new word. I don't think I've ever heard anybody use shim. I think it's cooler than they and them. I think we should just be using shim. That way we don't disvalue the masculine and feminine attributes that we all are. We're all equally masculine and feminine. That's the absolute truth. So we're shims. All right. The child of God must be forever free because we are as God created us and not what we would make of us. The reality is we are as God created us, not how we would make ourselves or define ourselves. We are where God would have us be and not where we thought to hold ourselves prisoner. We're not in this insane world and a chaotic world that's dying and being attacked. We are in heaven, in the state within of perfect, untouchable oneness. And that is where we are. I have invented the world I see. Review of lesson 33, there is another way of looking at the world. Okay, what is it? There's another way of looking at the world. Remember, these are meditations. Since the purpose of the world is not the one that I ascribed to it, not the one I gave it. Really, Jeshua, couldn't we have just used the word gave it? Like, even when you were writing this, didn't you know that we were going to pass time and people were going to like simpler, easier, less complicated language? I know I'm questioning Jeshua. Since the purpose of the world is not the one I gave it, there must be another way of looking at it. I see everything upside down, and my thoughts are the opposite of truth. I see the world as a prison for God's child. It must be then that the world is really a place where we are set free. I would look upon the world as it is and see it as a place where the child of God finds its freedom. So instead of a place where we're in a prison of death and duality and loss and chaos, I would see that this is a place where the child of God is set free, where we are free in the limitless truth of what we are, and that's the only reality that I want to see. Lesson 34. I could see peace instead of this. What a great answer to everything. I could see peace instead of this. When I see the world as a place of freedom, I will realize that it reflects the laws of God instead of the rules which I made up for it to obey. Meaning, whether we collectively create these governments or elect these governments that create laws, but it's talking about individually. I make up all these laws and rules that other people have to obey. What do I mean? Let's say you're in a romantic partnership. Don't you have all these rules and laws that if they don't obey, you're pissed off, right? But God didn't create those rules and laws. You did. From our past and all that we misbelieve, we create all these rules and laws that our friends and loved ones better abide by. But if they don't, I'm disowning them. I'm judging them. But they're not our rules. I see the world as a prison for God's child. It must be then that the world is really a place where he is set free. And I would look upon the world as it is and see it as a place where the child of God finds his freedom. Oh, I forgot I went to a review of Lesson 34 already. That was back on 33. Lesson 34 was I could see peace instead of this. I realized that it reflects the laws of God instead of the rules which I made up for it to obey. So when I see the world as a place of freedom, I will realize that it reflects the laws of God instead of the rules which I made up for it to obey. I will understand that peace, not war, abides in it. And I will perceive that peace also abides in the hearts of all who share this place with me. That's the only reality. If you believe that there's some people out there who that's not true for, then you will never see the perfect peace that we all share. In the review of Lesson 35, my mind is a part of God's. I am very holy. Love that one. Yeah. Holy, perfectly innocent, untouchable, a perfect creation like its creator. I am holy. I am one with all life. My mind is a part of God's. I am very holy. As I share the peace of the world with my brothers and sisters, with everyone, as I share the peace of the world with everyone, I begin to understand that this peace comes from deep within myself. The world I look upon has taken on the light of my forgiveness and shines forgiveness back at me. Back at you, Broseph. So as I look on the world and it starts to take on the light of my own inner forgiveness for what I thought I was, and I start to shine the truth of who I am, it shines forgiveness back at me. In this light, in this true perception, I begin to see what my illusions about myself had kept hidden. I begin to understand the holiness of all living things and their oneness with me, their perfect innocence and their oneness with me. So enjoy doing this review. If one of these really stood out to you, you could use it all throughout the day, just as often as you can. Remember to say whatever one, I could see peace instead of this. Oh, I'm seeing all sorts of insanity. Whoa, I could see peace instead of this. Even if you don't understand what that, like, I could see peace instead of this. But otherwise, just do the lesson reviews, one of them like 2 to 3 minutes throughout the day. So you do all five, sit in silence. You read the one that you can, you don't have to do them in order, by the way, but you just want to do each one of these five review lessons once in a meditation form, like 2 to 3 minutes, where you read it slowly and then close your eyes and just kind of let that idea steep inside you. You contemplate it. Maybe you say it again. And then remember, at the end of the day, you read all the five review lessons throughout, top to bottom, and that's the review. So thanks for tuning in. Thanks for being here. You are blessed. You are not alone. Don't forget to play a little bit and loosen up. Do some things that feel playful in your being. Stay light. If you have any questions, reach out to me. So grateful you're here. It can be a little uncomfortable to look at the shadow of our fake self, but it's all good. We're letting that go, and I appreciate you. You're loved. Stay well.